Hi!
Welcome!
This is the first time we're recording this video.
Yes, this is our first try.
First time recording a podcast with a video, actually.
First video on YouTube.
Tons of fun. Well, anyway, I think this is a good way of introducing ourselves, and now you can see us visually as well. So, hi, my name is Masha.
Hi, my name is Mimi.
Now you don't have to
Put a
imagine our voice.
face.
Yeah, put a face to the voice that you're listening all this time.
Yep. So this is our first video. Please be kind to us in the comments. Yeah. So today, starting our first video episode, we're gonna talk about something special. As you can see from the title, we're talking about ghosting, which is a sensitive topic to all genders and ages and all types of people.
Yeah, so trigger warning.
Yes, trigger warning. We will be respectful, of course, but we will also be honest in our own experiences, and we're not holding back. So
some example will be from personal experience, so how we experience it, or from our close friends' stories that we heard as well.
Yeah. So enjoy.
And welcome.
Welcome.
Okay. First of all, because the topic is going to be a bit heavy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good as well. How's life?
Life is lifing.
Life is nothing. I feel like it's going to be this year's motto at this point.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Check out our previous episode to see what we mean. Yes. How are you, Masha? How's
I
life?
am good. I'm trying new things in life, and I'm trying to be positive.
You should continue doing that. That's a good strategy.
Yes. Fake it until you make it. I mean, it is. I mean, life is lifing. I mean, what can I say? Not much time has passed since the last time we recorded anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, a week passed.
Yeah.
We're just recording this so we can get used to videos, so...
Yes. So, it's our experiment, so... Again, please be kind to us.
We have some notes for the topic here in our hands. So we're going to be reading those as well, so if you see us look down, it's just because we have notes.
Yeah.
We have lots of notes.
Yeah. It's a very big topic, so we want to cover everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
So where would you like to start from the topic? Because ghosting is a big topic, which I feel like most people are, when they're mentioning ghosting, they mean from dating websites. But ghosting is not only that. Ghosting can be from friendship, can be from families,
Offline.
relatives, online, offline, and it's relatively...
Small technical issue.
Yeah. And there's relatively
each person has a different definition of what ghosting is. Basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the main definition of it, which when I was looking online was the practice of ending a personal relationship with someone by suddenly and without explanation withdrawing from all communications, based on Google. But if you look from any other article or anything else, the definition is a bit different in each cases, because this one I feel like it's applying to all, but some are most definitions that I looked up online were applying to a relationship as in dating, not on other ones. But we're gonna be talking mostly about dating because that's where we get all the information and the ghosting term came from, most of it. But we'll be also mentioning a lot of relationship as in friendship, family stuff.
All types of context.
All types of context of it.
Yeah. So I had the definition here on my phone. But Masha wrote it down. She's very thorough.
A scientist to the core.
Yes. So if you don't know, Masha is a microbiologist. Has a strong scientist ethic.
I just like research and reading stuff.
She does. It's a fact.
But here's a very creative person.
Yes.
Who does all the things and has the camera and the tripod that I did not even know we had inside for some time.
You just, if you have a goal, you make it happen.
Yes, true.
Yeah. So back to ghosting. Back to our topic. We do that a lot, by the way. Get used to it. We just switch topics.
Yeah.
A lot. That's how we think. That's what happens in our brains. So what do we define as ghosting? I define it as the end of communication between two people, or maybe more people. And when I say communication, I mean verbal and non-verbal. So it might be texting, it might be talking, it might be completely avoiding a human being with your body, you know, not looking at them, not talking to them, staying very far away from them, even if you work in the same space or live in the same area. So that's my definition.
Okay.
You?
Well, my definition is like to what Google was saying, so it's just like cutting off like communications, texting, or like vocal ones from the person in question.
Okay. That's great.
Like dot 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 dot.
So I'll get into it. I feel a bit uncomfortable asking, but I have asked you this before off camera. Have you ever been ghosted?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever ghosted someone?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to share why? Like, is there a story behind it?
Well, why I ghosted some people is the last person that I ghosted was from dating apps, and I wanted to tell him that we are not compatible and everything, just to be honest. But because I was so sick and I was so busy that I forgot about it. And because like I was sick, so I was just like constantly on my mind. I had to take the drugs for a specific time, after this period of time, after food, before bed, before this, and because I also started with my teeth therapy. It's just I had a lot going on in my life. And by the time I realized that I had to explain the person, a month has passed. And when I had the time, I found out that he like unmatched me and unfollowed me, and I couldn't contact him and just be like, hey, I'm really sorry, I actually felt like we weren't, this wasn't going anywhere, and I wanted to end this, but because I was sick and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I don't think he wanted an explanation after me ghosting him like for so long. So I kind of just like, I kind of ghosted a person. Yay! But the other times that I ghosted people was because on Tinder, I'm using Tinder, of course, and there were some people in question that were like either asking me, like, not asking me, but harassing me at some points, or like, for example, like, I didn't see the point based on how he was asking my previous questions, telling him that I don't want to continue talking with him, and it's easier to unmatch rather than telling him, hey, I don't see this going anywhere. Because I did this once. I texted a guy, I was like, hey, I don't see this going anywhere, let's go our own ways. And he kind of berated me and called me a lot of dirty words and stuff like that. So it's kind of like at some point I just don't want to communicate in case there's a big backlash and calling me off like many words, and then so it's kind of like, you know, sometimes I feel like ghosting is the correct way, or like for my own safety.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. And while you were saying this, I was thinking this and feeling this very strongly, like ghosting or the act of finding someone who ghosted is like a witch hunt. Like, like society evilizes the fact that you decide to cease communication with a person, only having in mind, oh, this person did something bad. But I think when you come to the decision of stop talking to someone and like stay away from them, whether that distance is physical or, a digital distance, just blocking the other person or unmatching them. Many times it's about safety. Okay. Mental and physical safety. So, yeah. I just feel that very strongly. Like, people do not realize that or take that into account. They just wanna, like, there are many forums online.
I think they do come into account because, okay, I made like a questionnaire on my personal Instagram because I was like very interested in that, and I didn't have many people answer me because it's a very sensitive topic for some people.
It is.
I had some people like text me privately and be like, did you ghost someone, or did someone ghost you and you're like pissing it off on the internet? I'm like, no, I genuinely just want to hear people's opinion on ghosting. And fun fact, you had a study, we talked about this, but you had a study, but it was proven to me. So basically, all the men that answered me said ghosting is not okay and you should be communicating, but all the women answered ghosting is okay because sometimes the person doesn't get it and it's also for your own safety.
Okay, so I guess it's all about miscommunication.
And another person, which is of female gender, said telling them why you don't want to talk to them anymore sometimes is a waste of time. Because sometimes when you speak to it like so many times that they don't get it and they think that they will change, like your opinion will change, and then you just like at some point just ghost them because there's no other point.
Yeah. Wonderful. It sounds really bad.
Yeah. Another person said totally unacceptable sometimes, although generally rude.
I get it as, okay, in my personal opinion, it is the human thing and the respectable thing to tell the other person, hey, I'm not interested in you anymore, or, let them know. Even if they're mean, let them know you're an ass, I'm not gonna talk to you anymore, I don't want to. But it seems many people do not get the memo and, just continue talking or continue harassing you and don't identify it as harassment or like take advantage of the fact that there is I would like to say ghosting culture, and like blame the other person and say, it's your fault, you ghosted me, you're the one in the wrong here. When in fact you stopped talking and you stayed away from that person to protect yourself. And it's interesting, I do agree with the men. Ghosting is not okay. But it actually is. Because it's a safety thing. It's interesting that all the women who answered you referred to safety. While all the men who answered referred to rudeness. So, like, it's about context. Like, it's a miscommunication rather. I wouldn't like to, create this fight between genders, because there are many men who are mean and there are women who are also mean. I don't know, trying to be diplomatic here is not saving the situation. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. I answered the questions, but
yes.
Did you ghost someone?
Yes, I have.
Did someone ghost you?
Yes. But when I would like to specify, when someone ghosted me, I was like, okay, so they don't want to talk to me anymore. And I felt okay with it. And I don't care very much. But every time I've ghosted someone, I had a serious reason to do it. And till this day, I feel bad about it. Even though I know, my brain knows I shouldn't. Because of this witch hunt culture, oh, you ghosted someone and you shouldn't have. I don't know if it's okay to get into each situation and why I ghosted someone. But those situations have taught me that it's okay to go up to someone, whether it is face-to-face or online, and tell them, hey, I don't like you, I don't like your personality, and I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So far, I have not gotten into trouble for it, but so far I have been nice and using nice words like I did right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that if I went up to someone and said, hey, you're a very shitty person, and you're so worse.
Just like she's telling me, just like it reminds me of one situation that happened last year.
Yeah.
That blew out of proportions. Because I, instead of ghosting the person, I just wanted to tell them up front, and it kind of became a very big topic at the end of the day, which sometimes I feel like I should have just ghosted.
Yeah. This topic makes me uncomfortable. I think,
Why does it make you uncomfortable?
it makes me uncomfortable because it triggers a side of me where, you know, the social justice side of me that is like, you're in the wrong, I'm in the right, I shouldn't feel bad because, you know, or because there's people talking behind your back.
The way you're phrasing it, it just makes me sound that your people-pleasing self is the one that is being like, hey, I don't want to do this, I just like people, but in the end of the day, some people just shitty, or sometimes you just need it because you're two people that cannot communicate at this point, so it's just better to end this.
Yes. No, I agree with you, but this people-pleasing side of myself is like, no, I want there to be social justice and I want the truth to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't just stop talking to this person out of the blue. I had a reason to do it and it was a good reason. So being blamed for it, or like having people talk behind my back or blaming me for something that I did to keep myself safe, I don't like that. So I don't like that.
And she was the one who suggested this
I
topic.
was the one who suggested it because I think there's many people going through it. And, you know, we were talking about this before, like long time ago. Before the digital era, many men, you know.
I could only think about men.
Yeah,
that
historically. Historically, there were many men who were leaving their families like that. Like they're mad. Might be women as well, but historically mostly men have been living their
mostly recorded men,
like that,
speaking.
And there wasn't a definition of ghosting, so it was just somehow appropriate for them to leave their families, leave their wives and children like this for no reason.
Yeah.
But now in the digital era, there's the definition of ghosting.
Mm-hmm.
There's the culture of ghosting. So
yeah,
I don't know where I'm going with this, but big feelings.
Okay, maybe. We cool down a little bit.
Yeah, fire's coming up.
Who do you think ghosts more, like statistically speaking?
I already looked up the statistics, so I know the answer. But initially, because of online forums, I was trying to say this before, but because of online forums, I thought, you know, because men mostly complain, oh, like women are so unfair, they ghost us all the time. I genuinely believe that women do ghosting, the act of ghosting, a lot more. But it turns out I'm wrong. You want to elaborate on that? You want to tell us the study?
You researched it first of all, but
I did. Yeah.
I just want to point out that she looked at researches, I didn't. I kind of conducted my own through Tinder, and I got the same answer as the statistical one, because I only ghost people if it's the person is too much and he doesn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no point talking to this person at this point, or it doesn't go anywhere, so it's better for me to just unmatch the person and just be done with it, because I don't want the person, you know, ghost me for a few months and then comes back after a few months because he had fun and because I'm the last thing on his chat and he just decided to remember me.
Mm-hmm.
So I just unmatched the people, so in case they come back later on.
Yeah.
If the conversation didn't go anywhere, or there are asses, which there happens a lot.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it's men who ghost me. Like, sometimes men ghost me because they literally leave me at the conversation where I'm from, and they didn't like me that I answer I'm from Cyprus. Some people ghosted me because I told them I speak Greek. They didn't like that. They wanted someone who doesn't speak Greek so they can talk shit about it. This is the only explanation I came to. Other people just ghost me because, like, of age, which is another topic of its own.
And you mean they preferred younger?
Yes.
Or, oh.
I mean, they could have preferred older or younger, but they didn't want the age that I was in.
Okay,
Even though...
Fun fact, we're 25.
We're 25. I know it doesn't look like that, but we're 25.
Like, I think 30, like, and below is, like, pretty young, so...
Yeah, I mean, I know this in Russia, but Russia is considered young adults in 35. It's in Europe until 27.
One of the studies I read was made by Spanish University, and it was about young adults, and their age limit was 18 to 40 years old. So they had different responses. Like they had interesting. It's an interesting study. I would like to link all studies I've read.
We'll link them in the description.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know, because you have a different generation. You have two different generations within this age gap. So they had interesting answers, but I genuinely do think 40, okay, maybe 40 is a little bit older, but 30 is a good age, I think. It's not.
No, I
It's
completely
30 old.
agree. No, it's not.
Okay.
Stop it. Don't think it that way. But no, back to the topic.
Like if an 80-year-old person was here right now, they were like, say, guys, shut up. You know, like you're babies. Shut up.
You're overthinking it.
I am.
Let's go back to the topic. So basically, the answer to the data was men ghost people more.
Yeah.
And I saw it personal experience. They literally ghosted me for some random reasons. Like, most of them were ghosting me because I said I'm from Cyprus. And they just ghost me. They don't unmatch me, they just ghost me, they just stop communicating. So I just, after like 2 weeks usually, I just unmatch them, because like, if you don't want to communicate, just do the movement and unmatch me. There literally was one person, which is really funny. He texted me and said, he tried to compliment me. I want to assume that this was a compliment. He said, "Oh my god, you're the most beautiful red flag I ever saw." And I was like, what? And he sent me a song, Sweet but Psycho. And I was like, okay, I agree with the song. He's like, you remind me of this song. And I was like, okay, I agree with the song, but what the fuck
What
are you
the heck?
What are you talking about? And I was just, because like on his bio it says like, I'm gonna match you because of some interests or like something peculiar that I saw about you. And I later texted it, is the red flag something peculiar to you now? And he literally like sent me the song, and I was just like, what the fuck? And then he was like, well, because you're a red flag, you shouldn't match me. And I was like,
that is so wrong on so many levels.
I
like,
know.
I have 3 different things to say.
I know.
3 different, like...
That's not the end.
That's
No, I'm sorry. It was just my answer. It's basically like said, I'm not giving you the chance for me to unmatch you. If you want, you can unmatch me as much as you want. I can even show you a tutorial if you're such a crybaby. He never unmatched me, he never answered me.
Oh my god. This is a play for power type of situation.
But he ghosted me.
I don't think this conversation was getting anywhere. It
No.
was so wrong on so many
I
levels.
know, but like the only option from that conversation was ghosting. It was either from my side or from his side.
Both sides. Like, enough. Let's end this.
Let's end this conversation. But it was like literally, I was just like, What the fuck is wrong with people? But yeah, so it's men.
Okay.
They want to
tell it to them, not me. Like I read the study.
Okay.
Is the
Can you tell us about their research? Because you have it.
Research, yes. Basically, I did mention the Spanish, the research about the Spanish university, and there was one more that I read from the University of Georgia. Or was that the second one? There were three researchers, but anyways, what I wanted to say is that men do ghost more, but the thing about them is when they're younger, they ghost a lot more. And as they get older, towards their 40s, they ghost less.
Because they have no other choice.
And also, this information was, I don't remember which university it was, but anyways, apparently there's 22%, this is an American study, 22% of people have expressed that they have ghosted, and 25% of people of all genders have expressed that they have been ghosted. So I guess
That's quite a low percentage.
Yeah.
Or was there like another where they said they don't want to answer?
I would like to know. I just saw the highlights.
Okay.
On this one. As you can see, I don't remember exactly which university it was, but we'll link it down below if you're interested.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not, like, perhaps people are not as open when it comes to
Ghosting.
expressing,
Well, I think
about initiating ghosting or experiencing ghosting, because like we're being vulnerable here, but because we are the people we are.
Yeah, we're quite open people, I think.
Yeah. But even though it's a normal phenomenon, not many people are talking about it.
Yeah.
Especially on our island, on our little island, Cyprus.
Yeah.
Cyprus is our island.
Okay, so I have so many Cypriot friends that ghost me for a long period of time, and then just suddenly call me up and just like, oh hey, how are you? I've missed you and stuff like that. Or like in dating as well, there was one guy who literally ghosted me. We haven't talked, and we had never met. He never took the initiative, and sometimes I'm like, I'm so fed up with taking the initiative in dating as well. Because I feel it's like 100% it's me who's taking the initiative. It's like it's not 100%, like 96% it's me, and the other 4% it's rarely people who take the initiative. Sorry. And literally, like, the guy texted me after months of not talking, and he's like, oh, I was thinking about you, randomly. I was thinking about you because I got COVID, so I remember you've been sick for a long time. Yeah, just stay dead. Just stay ghosted. Like, no, that's not something you say to people. Also, if you see a lot of TikToks or Reels or whatever, like short videos that they're making fun of Cypriots, or even Smurf, he's making fun of Cypriots that they're always late, or sometimes they just never show up, which is an act of ghosting.
Is it?
Yes.
And not showing up is, but being late is an act of ghosting? No.
Well, micro-ghosting. Like, for example, you're calling the person, set up the date for like 4, and the guy didn't answer you and everything, and he shows up after 6. That's an act of micro-ghosting. Because you're ghosting the person, doesn't give you explanation, and then it's becoming so natural that people literally say that they're meeting somewhere at 7, and only the person who is always on time, he sets up the rendezvous at 9, because he knows people will fucking show up at 9.
For me this is funny, the example she mentions, because it's sort of normal in Cyprus.
It is an act of ghosting. I like that she never thought about it.
I have not. But I would like to mention, previously you were talking about friends who don't contact you in a long time. I personally have friends that I hold very close to my heart. Sometimes we might not talk for a month, but it's like we never stop talking. So when we meet, even though it's been a month or 3 months, we just continue talking where we left. and
Yeah.
it's, you know, it's all with love.
I'm not but it is an act of ghosting. Like, I have tons of
No,
friends.
we're just both not in a mentally great state, so
Yeah, but
we self-isolate. But we know that about each other.
Okay, but are you communicating it?
Yes, by text.
Sometimes don't people communicate. That's what I'm telling you. Sometimes people literally leave me on red and just call me after a few months.
I see what you mean. So it's about intention.
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
Yes, but most of the act of not texting someone or disappearing for long periods of time is an act of ghosting, which is why sometimes I'm ending friendships like that, because if people literally don't text me for so long and literally leave me on red on my last minute, ignore you on a full level, and then they come back after a few months and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I was a bit far away, I just and I literally had one person tell me, but that's the way I am, and my mother doesn't care. I'm not your mother. Keep your relationship with your mother this way. I don't care, but for me this is disrespect.
I like the way you're mimicking the situation. You're like, you can just say I don't like excuses, but you're like, yeah, you don't like that.
Yes.
Yes. You feel intensely about it.
I literally have some friends who are literally like go on like rampage of messages if they cancel on me last moment. They're like, I know you really hate when people cancel last moment, but I just had this situation, and I'm like, it's fine if it's a hospital, I'm fine if it's a family emergency, I'm fine if something really happened, I'm fine if you're like not feeling well, but if you knew that you're not feeling well since the morning and you're canceling me last moment, that's I found disrespectful.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you.
But anyway, back to ghosting, because
I feel like it's been done to you a lot, that's why you're like,
yes.
yeah.
I had tons of friends like that, which is why I found it very disrespectful, and I decided to take very seriously my boundaries, and that's why I'm very peaceful right now.
I'm happy for you. That's good.
Okay, just want to ask you a question, which I think is self-explanatory, but
Sure.
is ghosting emotional cruelty?
I think it depends on the context. It could be. Could very well be. You know, it's like in the form of okay, I will use this carefully, but it could be
Like
a
this.
form of emotional aggression, like when you're having a fight or you're not in a good state with someone and you stop talking to them on purpose, as if you're trying to punish them. Yeah, that could be emotional cruelty. But I also know people who could easily take this term and, you know, manipulate it or use it in a very different context and, you know, make themselves to look in the best image and the other person to look badly. When in reality, we don't know what happened. And there are two different truths on every side.
Yeah.
So
But just for people,
it depends.
others people emotions are not your emotions and not your problem. Everybody has their own emotions.
Yeah.
The actions speak louder than words.
I agree very much. And you know, when you have two humans communicating, if you did something bad and the other person stopped talking to you with good reason, you know very well that you did something bad. Like, you don't need an explanation. Yeah. Yeah. And also, if someone comes and says to you, I don't want to talk to you anymore, that's a clear sign they don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah, just take the hint.
So to all men,
And
not just men, yeah,
all people.
to all people who complain, hey, like this person ghosted me, they might have a good reason. Or maybe they don't. You don't know. We don't know. There are many different situations. So, like Masha before was giving all these examples of people ghosting her for her hair, for the languages she speaks, for...
Like the first thing comes to your mind, hair, but I never mentioned my hair. My hair is... No.
No. I mean, it's things, you were mentioning things that are about your existence, like basic things about your existence.
Yeah,
Who you are, your
where you're
age.
from.
Yeah, I mean, those
age.
things are ridiculous. But if something happened between the both of you, which I don't know, like there are many. I can think of many scenarios, but yeah.
Yeah. Also, I think ghosting, like being ghosted, it sometimes gets easier the more it's done to you. Like, not easier, but like you get used to it, unfortunately. And even on Tinder where someone ghosts me, before I was like so mad and like I was just like, oh, how dare he, and like blah 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 blah, many excuses. But now I'm kind of like, oh, he's not gonna talk to me, fine, I'm gonna move to next one. So it's like a change of mentality, because like other people's problems are not your problems, other people's emotions are not your emotions, are not your responsibility. Other people's thoughts, emotions, processes, actions are not your responsibility.
Yeah.
So if someone ghosted me right now, sometimes I don't even realize it. Like if someone on Tinder, like I'm talking from Tinder perspective, if someone ghosts me and match me on Tinder, because unmatching on Tinder is also an act of ghosting. That's why I constantly refer back to the fact. And if someone unmatches me, I sometimes don't even realize it.
Okay, but I'd like to differentiate here the act of emotional aggression and just rejection. Because in some cases, someone might do it on purpose to, you know, mess with your head or try to be emotionally manipulative. But it feels like you just seem to deal better with rejection.
Yeah, but I think at first I wasn't great at it, but it's getting better. So my like, let's say that ghosting, it depends on someone's comfort level. And my comfort level from all the ghosting that's happening to me at this point, I'm kind of like more comfortable with it and I was used to it. And also, but I'm not gonna say I'm amazing at it. Like, it's just got to the point where I don't give a shit at this point. Because like I had one guy who not ghosted me, he had matched me, but he did try to explain, but he had matched me before I read the message.
Yeah.
So for me this is an act of ghosting, but even worse because he tried to explain himself, but didn't give me the time to
space to watch.
Yeah.
We talked about this specific example on our last episode. I feel in this scenario, maybe the person got in their head and, you know, thought that you ghosted them, perhaps? Because you didn't read it immediately. So
yeah, but maybe I'm not entitled to read the image just immediately.
You're not, of course not. Because you have your own personal life. Like, you have a time schedule, like you're actually a quite busy person. You should see her calendar.
Oh my God. I'm trying to be organized and
you know, regardless, like whenever you had the opportunity to go see and respond, he wasn't there. So
yeah,
it happened as it happened.
It does happen. It's just like it's a bit cruel, sad, because he tried to explain himself, but he didn't give me the time to process it. Like, he didn't give me the opportunity to process it because he unmatched me before I could read the message. Sure, we haven't talked for 2 days because I was busy, and I told him when we were on a date that I will be busy the upcoming weekend because I had tons of plans planned from morning till night, and I wouldn't have the time to talk to him. And I told him if he wants to talk to me, he can arrange a date and we can go on. And this was agreed on verbally from both sides on the first date. He just...
So you were communicative, but...
He wasn't actually.
It just... Yeah.
Most of the times it was just me talking.
That's okay. So miscommunication or lack thereof from...
Things happen. Life is life.
Yes. Life is life.
Okay.
Situations happen, you know. Even if you try your best, you know, situations happen.
Oh yes, many situationship happens, but it's just sad. It's just sad.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Life is life.
Let it go. It's okay.
Okay. Does this answer the question though? Is this necessary? Because I think from a woman's perspective, ghosting is necessary sometimes.
Okay, so
From the examples that I think about for my own, like
Yeah.
from the topic of safety,
yeah.
my answer is yes. Because sometimes if you don't get it and you feel like the person on the other side is threatening you, for me ghosting is very acceptable and it's necessary. Like I had one example. I matched with a guy also from Tinder. I'm talking about Tinder. Turn this back down. And he's in Larnaca.
Yeah.
I'm in the capital.
Okay. It's
And
not far away. For those who are not
It's
familiar,
not far away.
It's not that far away.
But from what I was talking to him, I said it's far away because he wanted me to drive to him all the time.
Yeah, so he didn't show the initiative of coming to you.
And he was being very aggressive
Aggressive? How?
verbally aggressive, because it's only verbally spoken.
Yeah.
He was very aggressive
You didn't
and
tell me this before, that's why.
because I forgot about it.
Okay.
It's not very
I
important.
guess that's good. I just
Yeah.
let it go.
And yeah. And because like it's not something like, for example, if someone matched me from Limassol, I'm kindly sometimes telling them, oh, Limassol is far away from me for anything more serious. So especially if it's like commitment, I don't want to drive back and forth because I was living in Praligny and I had to drive to Capel, so I was spending 4 hours per day to go and come back, which I don't want that in dating. So that's why I'm looking for people in the same city, which a lot of people agree it's better. If I need someone else, sure, but the guy didn't show any interest from my, like, didn't show, especially when he was accusing me from the get-go, from the first date. And he was like accusing me verbally how like it's not too far away, that I'm a stupid bitch, and like how dare I say that it's far away, and I should listen to him. And I'm just like, who are you? You're just a match. I don't even know your name. So at that point I just unmatched him, so I ghosted the person because I told him twice, I don't want to see you. You're too far away from me. Respectfully, let's move our own ways and find people where we're more comfortable with. He called me a bitch, of course. He continued to verbally abuse me later on. And I just was like, there is no point in talking to this person or trying to explain myself. So I unmatched him and ghosted him.
Okay, I think that was the best course of action.
Yeah. So is answering the question, is it necessary? Yes. For me, it's not sometimes necessary.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better to say, hey, I don't want this. And if the other person is communicative and answers back, sure, go on. Good for you, proud of you both. But if one of them is aggressive and just being non-communicative, ghost. That's the only. And that's why a lot of women understand that sometimes it's good. It's the only option is actually to ghost people.
Yeah.
We don't prefer that. We prefer to be communicative. But if the other person doesn't understand it, there's no point.
Yeah. I agree with this line of thinking because in a digital space, even though the other person cannot harm you physically, the act of verbally receiving all of these messages is disturbing, to say the least. So yeah, keep yourself safe. And to the people, men and women, and non-binary pals, you know,
Be safe out there.
be safe. Because I know we're seeing all of this and like, yes, studies do show, and in our experiences, you know, we've received this type of behavior mostly from men. I also know and have met mean women. So, and I know men are less likely to come out and say all of this or express themselves. So yeah, mean people out there, regardless of, you know, their gender, but I do feel it's to answer the question we asked usually. It is okay to ghost for your own safety.
Yes.
Yeah.
From a woman's perspective.
Yeah. From our perspective.
From our perspective.
Yeah.
We've been there, done that, been done to.
Yeah. Actually,
and sometimes it's necessary.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons I do not enjoy online dating or online interactions. I would like to see the other person face to face, or I don't know, like this is exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure everyone who has experienced this can relate, but it is truly exhausting and I have no energy to deal with it. Like, I don't want this. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, Masha has the energy to, you know,
Swing.
I feel like you're in a jungle and she's like swinging, you know, past the
Some people actually ask
bad
me
matches.
why do they have the energy or the time to do that?
How?
And
Please tell us.
if you're in a toilet and you're scrolling, just scroll through Tinder. I mean, you're pooping anyway, so physically and theoretically.
Okay, this is an entire topic, but I don't like the idea of being presented through an account as a product, it feels like dates. What I'm trying to verbalize here is like dating nowadays is like a job hunt or like a job interview. Like people are like seeing not you, but what they think, what you can present yourself as online, as you know, how much can you actually reveal about yourself in a picture and a small bio section? Like, it's weird. It feels uncomfortable for me. Plus, this ghosting situation, plus the bad experiences, it's a big no for me. I do applaud you for your courage to continue doing this. I will not.
I did meet some really nice, decent people though online.
Great.
But
I'm
they're
happy to hear.
counted on one hand.
That's okay.
Like if speaking statistically, they're like less than 1% of all the people I met and talked to. Like not met, but talked to through Tinder.
Okay. That's okay. You still met them.
Yeah, those two.
That's good.
Those specific people I met.
Tinder now has a reviews feature. Do you think that will affect ghosting in any way?
No.
No?
No. I think maybe some people yes, but at the same time, if you think about it, if someone reviews you, at this point this is just like a job application or something like that, which just makes it even worse.
Yeah.
And I have not seen that feature on Tinder here.
Okay.
And this is going to be really bad because, like, for example, if we take the example of Uber driver and Uber passenger, both can review each other.
Yeah.
And for example, like, the Uber driver wanted a person to talk to, but the person who, like, for example, maybe going to a hospital and doesn't have the energy or something to talk about, and like the Uber driver gives the passenger like 1 star because he was not talkative, but the passenger gave him like 5 star because he was driving him from A to B, and so like who's the right, who's the wrong at this point? Because like there's always 2 sides to one coin.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is a good thing, especially when in dating, like both people should be on the same page. But this is making them like a coin, so like people from different perspectives. So for me that doesn't make sense. This is a very bad feature.
Okay.
But I could also say the same for Bumble. For me, Bumble doesn't work. Like, I don't want to be the first to text. I do sometimes on Tinder when I'm 5 glasses of wine down and I have nothing else to do in my life. But this is another topic. But most of the time, like on Bumble, people expect people to match, but the girl needs to text first, and then the person needs to ask to answer in the next 24 hours. And for me, this is not a good, because like there's a time limit, or like only one person takes the initiative. And for example, there are tons of people who match on Tinder just for validation. I literally have so many people sitting on top, because I heard it somewhere. So basically, there are so many men that seek just validation from Tinder. So they don't even talk to the people. They just want to have the icon that you matched. So like they don't even talk.
Confidence booster.
Yeah. Yeah, like just the confidence was like, oh yeah, I matched with this person. But like, did you talk to them?
Okay, I don't think that's bad, but I can see if someone who has the intention of actually meeting new people and getting to know someone might be annoyed.
Yeah,
by
like,
that.
like for example, you met a person and then you have to review the person online. It's just like, what is this? Like, I'm going here for my personal reason, either for friends with benefits, one night stand, for relationship
This
status.
is giving me anxiety.
I know. You wanted to talk about this. I'm
It's
giving
true,
you
it's true.
all this
Yeah,
information.
it's true, it's
And at this point, like, why do I have to also, like, for example, if the date we really want, why do I have to spend time and energy to write a review to some third party app? Third party.
Mhm.
At the same time, if I had a good time, I want to continue this, why should I write this to a third party app? And then, like, the person will have stars of how, like, ability he has. Maybe the person is just funny. Maybe that one has, like, a really nice, like, sexual activity, like, sexually active, he's very nice in the bed. Or, like, the other one just looks nice. How will you rate it? Like, it's not gonna be, like,
Yeah.
like on the same level. Everybody will be different, and like one person will have 5 stars from 3 people, and another one will have like 3 stars from 5 people, but maybe the 3 star is better than the 5 star.
Okay, so basically, I think, I think what you're trying to express is that this feature increases the social factor rather than the personal factor,
Yeah.
meaning how society and people as a mass
Yeah.
view you versus how, 2 people interact, how their interpersonal relationship goes. But I do think, I don't know if Tinder has a feature where you can flag someone as having too many red flags or having.
You can
Verbal
report
language.
people. You report people, but it takes a lot of the time. The moderator needs to review this, and there needs to be proven, and so it takes like months sometimes.
Nice.
You don't talk to them, but yeah. But some people, literally, I have a friend who was swiping through Tinder and she got banned because someone reported her because she didn't talk to them, because like she didn't want to talk to them anymore, like she ghosted them. And he didn't like that, even though she expressed herself why she doesn't want to talk to him again. He reported her.
I don't understand Tinder.
So that's why I say this is very bad, because if there's so many people who are a little bit fragile and they're like, oh, this person expressed that they want to talk to me, but I want to talk to, and my word is my say, like is everybody's say, and they're like, oh, this person doesn't talk to me, I'm gonna write a bad review about them and create the rating really bad. And just like the review says, like, oh, they're not talking to me because I was an ass.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, having malicious intentions.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Write it down.
conclusion,
This
is a bad, for me, in my personal opinion, this is a very bad add-on from Tinder.
Yeah. I feel like Tinder, if you're watching this, or any sort of
Social
dating-
media platform.
yes, or
Dating platform.
or meeting friends platform, instead of creating a reviews feature, perhaps put more effort in the how's it called, the reports, when you're trying to report someone for being malicious, or
Maybe hire more people so they can go through the complaints of people.
moderators.
Yeah, but there are also some people that report for no reason.
Yeah, but if the app, whichever app, had more moderators, wouldn't they go through it and see that there was, it's a false report? So
Yeah.
this situation makes me feel really uncomfortable. But I feel like it's important for us to talk about things like this, which is why I wanted to talk about it today.
Yes. I think we covered everything, so let's do a small recap. What did you learn today, Mimi?
I learned that it's okay to be badass and it's okay to say no to people. And if that means ghosting or being framed or labeled as a ghoster, then it's okay. Okay.
Good.
What did you learn today, Masha?
That it's okay to ghost people.
Yeah.
It happens. There are many different reasons. It is better to explain yourself, but if you don't,
Yeah, there are different types of ghosting. Malicious ghosting is not okay, but if you're doing it out of safety reasons, then please do it.
yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Safety is number one. Yeah.
But this is all for today's episode. Thank you for joining us, and please,
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed the first episode we ever recorded video.
Yes.
And hope you join us again next time, and thank you. Please follow us on social media, on Instagram.
Yeah, we'll put our social media here. Like,
Yeah.
please follow us on Google Podcasts or Spotify, on Instagram. We now have Facebook, which we don't use, but we will update it. And we now obviously have a YouTube channel, so yay.
Yes. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
We're filming each other.
Yes. You want to see yourself?
Yes, because I'm filming myself as well. No, don't. It's because like it's trying to focus, and I'm just like, don't focus there.
Okay. Yo, what's up? This could be our story.
Look down.
Down?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Although I'm still filming, so. Hi!